Welcome to Winter Park, Florida. Today I'm taking you on a full driving tour of Winter Park, Orlando's #1 suburb, and honestly, one of my favorite places to live in all of Central Florida. This isn't your typical Orlando area, and you won't find any theme parks here. Instead, you'll discover brick-lined streets, multi-million-dollar homes on stunning lakes, fabulous dining, shopping, and rich history at every turn. I'm meeting my friend Chris Hardiman, a local and preferred lender in the area, and together we're going to show you why Winter Park has become the most sought-after address for people moving to the Orlando area. Hi, friend! Oh my God, it's so good to see you. Ready for this tour today?
Let's roll.
Okay.
Coffee first.
So wait, you told me that we have to stop at the best coffee shop in all of Winter Park. Why is this the best place?
Hey, how's it going?
There's a lot of history here too. It's been here forever.
It's been here forever, and you're always gonna see someone you know. Like seriously,
It's in the heart of Park Ave.
Yeah,
One of the best places. Hi.
Good.
Yeah,
Just so you know, our kitchen's just doing drinks.
for sure. I need one of your best iced coffees.
Nice coffees.
Do you want a medium or a large?
A medium is fine.
Large iced latte with a pump of vanilla. One pump, one pump.
And do you know why people love Barney's so much? Because how good the coffee is?
So
Yeah,
people keep coming back.
that's why they come back. Good caffeine.
Good caffeine.
Gets you every time.
Everyone needs it, right? I mean, seriously, like lunch here, impossible to get a table.
Oh, it's impossible to get a table
Well, it's
at lunch?
also impossible to get a parking spot on Park
Yeah.
Ave, but,
That
you know,
part.
that part's real, right?
It's so cute, and what's really cute too is that there's indoor seating as well as outdoor seating right on the Ave. So great place to
And
grab
table service,
coffee
which
and
like
snacks.
most coffee spots, you don't have a
We
server.
don't have table service at. Okay, now that we have our coffees from one of the best spots on Park Ave, let's jump into the Moke and take this tour.
Let's go.
So there's really good shopping on Park Ave. One of my favorite places to shop for my husband is actually right here at Current. You shop there?
I do, unfortunately. It can get dangerous in there.
And you
Yeah.
said that they do tailoring.
Yeah, free alterations, right? Which for a 6'4" guy matters.
That does
'Cause
matter.
Everything is altered.
That does matter.
Everything is altered.
You also have Williams-Sonoma, which is fantastic. You have Lululemon on the other side. You have all different types of shops. What are some of your favorites or your wife's favorites?
I mean, Williams and Sonoma, fortunately, we're right here. It is. And like, you know, you don't know what to get someone for Christmas, Williams and Sonoma.
Yes,
You're always
For
going to
sure.
find something right.
for sure. Okay, well, here we are. Let's jump in.
Let's go.
I'm Tiffany Pantozzi with Align Real Estate, and as someone who's helped hundreds of families find their perfect Winter Park home, I'm super excited to take you around today.
And I'm Chris Hardiman, a local lender who both lives and works in Winter Park. I've been helping clients finance their Winter Park homes for years, and I can tell you firsthand that this area holds its value better than anywhere in Central Florida.
So buckle up, because today we're taking you on a ride through the neighborhoods, hotspots, hidden gems, and we're gonna jump into the Moke and show you exactly why Winter Park is one of the best and most desirable suburbs. It's actually a thing to have a Moke here in Winter Park, right?
It's very much a thing. It's almost a necessity.
Is it? Okay.
Almost a requirement.
Well, I think it's really cool just to really see the lifestyle here in Winter Park, that you can drive around in a Moke anywhere in Winter Park.
You can.
But so many people here have these cars, don't they?
A lot.
A
So
lot.
much that literally in every single parade, be it Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, whatever, there's usually a Moke section in the parade.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why today we chose to jump in the Moke instead of a traditional vehicle, to really give you that true essence of the lifestyle here in Winter Park. So we're in, let's go. We're actually turning around though, because we want to take you to the very beginning, the start of Park Ave. That's what we're going to start with, because there's so much to show you on this tour. So we're going to drive down, start at the very beginning, which is actually where Rollins College is. So let's take a ride there, and then we'll get this tour started.
By the way, on your right, City Hall.
City Hall.
I usually have to go there to deal with like when I have a leak with the water meter, or when McLaren was going on, a million different building, planning and zoning, building department,
Yep.
all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah, which, you know, here in Winter Park, there are a lot of rules to what you can and cannot build. So I'm sure that if you're somebody that wants to do renovations in your home or wants to buy a knockdown and build, like, you're gonna have to spend some time at City Hall.
Particularly if you're in a historic district, you know,
in the historic
good rule to
district,
live by. Just don't mess with their oak trees, and you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, oak trees are very protected here in Winter Park. So if you buy a home that has oak trees, just know that you most likely cannot touch them if you think that you want to cut one down.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
You're not cutting down that oak tree. you are going to build your house around that
The oak tree.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly. So we just crossed over onto Rollins College property, and fun fact, it's the oldest Florida college. So talk about rich history here in Winter Park if it's the oldest Florida college. I mean, Winter Park dates back to the 1800s, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm. It was originally actually kind of a vacation destination that a lot of like industrialists, heads of industry, groups from up in like the Northeast, like the tri-state market, they established it because, well, they wanted a place to go to when it was freezing cold and pouring rain, which is how it got established on the rail line, actually, to begin with, because it was right here. That was how you got down here.
Right, and Rollins College is definitely a very prestigious college. It's a private college, definitely not a cheap college to go to. It's in a gorgeous location, a waterfront, you know, property right on the lake.
Yep. Crew team, ski team, all the fun water sports activities.
Yes, it's a really nice
was
college.
Founded in 1885.
1885.
Yep.
It's really right at the heart here of Winter Park, because when I look at Winter Park on a map, I kind of look at Fairbanks Ave, which is literally right here in front of Rollins, which turns into a Loma as kind of the thoroughway right through Winter Park. And then you have the north end and the south end. And then I like to break it up into like the northeast, the northwest, southeast, southwest. So right now we are going to be focusing in on the north side of Winter Park. But yeah, it's right here in the core center heart of Winter Park, and one of the most desirable places in Central Florida to go to private college.
Absolutely.
And it starts at the very beginning of Park Ave.
Yes.
So we're gonna now drive down Park Ave and point out a lot of our favorite spots, things that you gotta see and you gotta do when you live here in Winter Park.
Every weekend.
Every weekend.
Every weekend.
And one more fun fact, Mr. Rogers graduated from Rollins. Not only did he graduate from Rollins, but he lived here too, right? Where did he live?
Esteemed alumni, yeah, and he's kind of just down at the end of Park Avenue, go right on Palmer. We can drive past the house.
Okay, we'll go check out Mr. Rogers' house for you guys. Okay, let's go. The tour begins.
So the Chocolate House, one of my children's favorite destinations.
Chocolate House, they
for
must love.
literally all things chocolate.
There's so many great restaurants here though. Like
this is the newest one.
This is the newest. I just went to lunch last week. Yes.
Food's incredible.
So good.
Food
beautiful, good for, you know, lunch or dinner. They're actually starting a fun brunch with a DJ.
Are they?
Yes, they are. Also here at Restoration Hardware, one of my favorite home stores, of course. But it's so cool. The fun fact, this building used to actually be the Colony Theater. And now it's the Restoration Hardware. But there's also clothing stores, tons of great restaurants. I mean, it's hard to really choose. Another really well-known chocolate store here on the right.
Yep.
Peter Brook.
And they actually do classes.
How fun, do the kids like that?
Oh yeah, you can bring them in, they can make like my personal favorite, the chocolate covered popcorn bricks.
So nice.
So you can go in, they can make that. They do it around like Easter with fun stuff too.
So also, Ava, one of our favorite spots. This is the place to dine. Great ambiance in the evenings. They have like a little secret little downstairs, the wine room. I love that place because you can literally pay for like a card and you just like put the card into all these different types of wines and do a tasting on your own. Love it, so good.
I'm a cocktail guy, Ava's more my style, but not to knock wine room. A lot of people love it, great spot to be. Now,
and don't forget about Bosphorus, it's been here forever. It's a staple Turkish cuisine. Go get a hookah, go get the bread and all the dips and all the yummy stuff. I also do want to point out though, on Park Ave, that there is Central Park. So across from all the shops and dining, you have this gorgeous green space that's set to be about 11 acres of green space in the middle of all of this residential and commercial space. So just such a beautiful area to hang around.
And not only that, but I mean, it also provides the setting for the art festival. So Winter Park actually is a Main Street district. And then within the Main Street district, they have a social club, Club 1882. And Supatra and I, my wife and I, are members of that club. So they have a private event where they shut down the street. A lot of the local restaurant owners come together, do a fixed menu.
Wow, so
and,
fun.
you know, white tablecloths, all the fun stuff.
So fun. So there's just so much that happens. And then there's the big art festival that people come from all over the world every single year, the Winter Park Art Festival. So a lot happens on Park Ave. It's literally the heartbeat of all of Winter Park.
It is.
So if you're not from Winter Park and you want to get on the lakes and take a tour, the best place to do that is Winter Park Scenic Boat Tours, because
because there's no other way to get on the lakes because it's a private chain of lakes.
And it is the
Oldest business in Winter Park.
exactly super cool fun fact.
Yeah.
It's run by great people. So let's take a peek and show you what it's all about. The Venice of America, as they would say. What's cool and why they say that though is all of the interconnected canals that they dug, which create this like very Venice-like feel because they're pretty shallow, some of these canals that you have to go through. Only certain boats can go through. And that's how you get from one of the lakes to the other, and they're very narrow as well. It creates that Venetian feel, which is why, again, they call it the Venice of America.
And you'll notice that with a lot of architecture on the homes as well.
It is such a gorgeous day. I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Not a cloud in the sky. I see tons of boats out on the lake already. So yeah, anybody can come and pay for a ticket to do one of these scenic tours.
But do it in advance because it
books
books up. It books up.
Exactly. And
especially on the weekends.
Yes, it definitely does. So if you're somebody that maybe wants to move to Winter Park, it'd be a cool thing to do and like really check out the waterfront real estate or just to learn more about the history of Winter Park. If you want to really get the feel of Winter Park, you better go on the Scenic Boat Tour. So we're just featuring you guys. You guys are great at what you do.
Oldest private business in Winter Park, right?
Continuously running tourist attractions in the state of Florida.
Like that.
Did you guys hear that?
That's
the
huge.
Oldest continuously running tourist attraction in the state of Florida. 87 years. Again, this is a must-do, whether you're a local or a tourist. I've been on this twice. I love this boat tour.
Right there.
So fun.
All right.
He's so cute. Well, thank you so much. So the Winter Park chain of lakes is 6 interconnected lakes spanning 2,700 acres. They are beautiful, spring-fed lakes with excellent water quality. If you're looking for a home on one of these lakes, you can expect to pay a minimum of about $2 million or more. Homes here can range all the way up to $10, $20 million on the lakes. Ginny's Orchids, that's like a little specialty spot that locals know about?
Yeah, like they're always at the farmer's market. They're always out everywhere.
Blue Mercury, of course, just as good as Sephora in my opinion.
Really?
But, well,
I don't know
different.
makeup. I don't know makeup.
It's a lot of skincare stuff too. I mean, it's different than Sephora. Okay, one of the best spots on the Ave is definitely Prado. It's the place to be for meeting people for cocktails, amazing food, definitely a great lunch and dinner spot.
Killer espresso martini.
Killer espresso martini.
Yep. Tabla, my favorite Indian spot personally, and I love
Indian food.
Yep. Briar Patch.
Okay, Briar Patch, guys. This is the place to know for all things breakfast and brunch. You will wait 45 minutes to an hour, no reservations, and they're known for
oh my gosh, the
lemon ricotta pancakes.
Lemon ricotta pancakes.
So they are the spot to go to on Park Ave, and it's worth the wait.
I'm a weirdo. I do savory for breakfast. So like I either do like the steak chimichurri or I do the spicy roast
From
beef
there.
sandwich. Yes, but for breakfast. Like I will go in there and I will get the spicy roast beef sandwich for breakfast.
And here on the corner we have Boca. Boca's another great restaurant here. Isn't it like a farm to table type of concept?
It is, yeah. It's a farm to table concept.
Down this little pathway, it's a secret hidden little behind, in the back, you can find a really cool little oyster bar. So it's definitely a little hidden gem that most people don't know about unless you're a local. Okay, so up on the left is the Morse Museum. And what's great about the history and culture here in Winter Park is that you do have incredible museums like Morse. And a fun fact is the Morse Museum has the largest Tiffany collection in the world.
Yeah.
Plus they have this gorgeous chapel, like a Tiffany chapel, right?
Yeah, huge stained glass window. I mean, their collection
beautiful.
is like kind of so world renowned that it actually goes out and goes on exhibit. Like they loan it out to other institutions. I mean, it's gone to the Met.
Yes, it's incredible. So definitely a really special destination right on Park Ave. And let's talk about the brick lined streets. I mean, these were laid in the 1900s, but can be a bit bumpy at times.
They can be. For a city to commit to brick streets, it's quite the thing. Because you don't just commit to putting them in, you commit to upkeeping them.
Yes.
Which I think one of the cool things about Winter Park is the city stays on top of it, right? So when they do a brick-lined street, they're also putting into their plan, they're going back through it. They're fixing it, they're maintaining when there's little
They maintain
dips
it
and bumps, doing all the
effectively.
things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. One thing that Winter Park does very well is invest in the city and the streets, and you can see that at every turn and how beautifully landscaped the whole, city of Winter Park is. And we have these gorgeous tree-lined streets. It definitely gives a special appeal to the area.
The biggest one is the one that they do.
It's definitely an eye catcher driving in a Moke around town.
It is, very much.
And then everybody, it's, as you live here, I mean, you've lived here for how many years?
2018, I moved back to Florida and I moved to Winter Park.
You know so many people here too, and it's like, people are honking, hey, Chris, how you doing?
That happens.
You kind of can't hide when you're in the Moke.
No tinted windows in the Moke. So this is actually where they have the big farmers market.
For the farmers market, and they do a lot of events here too, like Cows and Cabs is a big event that everybody looks forward to every year. Yep. They're setting up for something right now. Right. The farmers market has over 50 vendors. It's really an anticipated weekly event on every Saturday they do here in Winter Park.
Yep. And it's nice because really a lot of the local businesses, they make the commitment to actually get out there. So now we're kind of rolling down Morse, which becomes at this point much more of a business district. So you've got a lot of physicians, you've got a lot of wealth management. My office is on Morse.
Yes.
So you've got a lot of businesses on here. Not a lot of residential at all. So banks, Berkshire Hathaway.
And this will connect you to Orange Ave.
Yep. This goes
where
straight
you
up to
have
1792.
Some bigger restaurants, more commercial retail spaces and things like that. Better put it on, Tiffany. Don't want to fly out the Moke.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that. There's some really beautiful commercial spaces on Morse. It's a really pretty street. Also, towards the end of Morse, before you hit Orange, is the new beautiful library and event center.
Yeah, brand new. I think it opened up 2 years ago. Huge project. It actually, the city spent $42 million.
$42 million building, and it is gorgeous inside. So it is definitely something that is so great for the locals to enjoy. They have kids classes and entertainment and things always happening at this event center, but it is really beautiful.
Yeah, when you go inside of it, you see
so
the technology that they put into it and everything else, you can really get a sense for the scope.
With the money they put into this, I would be confident to say that it's probably the best library in the state of Florida.
It's unbelievable.
Would you say? How can any
really
other library
is.
beat this library with the money that they just put into it? And it's newly built, so they have to have all the advances in technology and everything inside there.
Oh, it's the full thing, Crestron system all throughout.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, so let's take them to Winter Park Village. So Morse essentially takes you all the way down to Orlando Ave. And on Orlando Ave, there's a lot of really great places that we love to dine. Some of those that we'll call out would be 60 Vines, one of my faves. Across the street, we love Hillstone.
It's the spot.
The spot, the best place for drinks, for dinner, lunch, dinner. It's definitely one of the best and busiest spots to eat in all of Winter Park. So now we're driving down though to which area?
So now we're going into the Winter Park Village. So the Winter Park Village has been here for a while. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember driving to Winter Park and coming over to the Winter Park Village. But over the past couple years, which was actually just finalized last year, they completely renovated everything. So the facade of the buildings, the streets, the movie theater, they redid it all and made it, brought it up to the times. So now it's gorgeous, and they brought in a ton of great new restaurants. So you've got a Tommy Bahama,
Chris,
yeah, you got Bar Italia,
the Chayote.
Oh yeah.
You have a Free People for shopping. Tommy Bahama is mentioned. The Loft.
And not to continue talking about ice cream on this tour, but there's a lot of ice cream in Winter Park. My personal favorite ice cream spot, Jenny's.
Jenny's.
Have you been to a Jenny's?
So good, of course.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Affogato.
So good.
Out of this world. Out of this world.
See, right next to the movie theater.
And what's so funny is Cheesecake Factory has been here forever.
It's a staple too.
I'm not a huge cheesecake guy, but the fans are diehard.
They are.
Cheesecake's got its fans.
But here, one of my favorite spots, Crisp and Green. I love to grab a wrap, grab a salad. And as we were mentioning about that, so here's that Chayote restaurant, upscale Mexican. You have Flutes Champagne Bar, the Bar Method, which, for a good workout class. But there's some really cool spots to come and enjoy here in Winter Park Village. Okay, so next up on our tour is,
Winter Park 9.
and why is that such a top spot here in Winter Park?
Well, I mean, it's the most convenient place to get out and play 9 holes.
If you're a golfer, so can anybody jump on the course?
Anyone can jump on the course. So
You don't have to be a member, you just have to pay.
don't have to be a member, just have to pay. It is a public course. The city did decide to purchase it a while back, which I think was a great decision on the city's part. So it's now a city asset. Anyone can play it. It's a beautiful walking course. They do have carts, but rarely anyone.
Do you ever see anyone using it?
No.
You always see everybody walking, and it's so cool. It's like literally in the heart of Winter Park.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, they do night golf where you can get out and you have like the light up tees and the golf
So
balls
fun.
that light up. They have youth clinics, so like if you want the kids to get out, start learning how to play golf, they can get out, they can do it. It really is great. And again, it's like right in the heart of Winter Park.
Right. So if you're an avid golfer, it's a great place to hop out and play 9 holes. But if you don't want to play here, there's also Interlochen, which is a private club. You have to become a member, and that's not too far away as well if that's something you're looking for.
Yeah, and there is Winter Park Pines as well, which is an 18-hole golf course and is also public. So if
Okay.
you want 18 holes and you want to stay in Winter Park, you do have Winter Park Pines. If you're not a great golfer, I would say definitely skip Winter Park 9 because you'll shank it and hit my car with the ball.
Right, because there are literally like on
we are
every
driving
turn there's
past
cars
the fairway as
driving.
we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're not a good golfer,
Yeah.
don't play on the Winter Park 9.
Yes.
So now we're gonna get into the residential side of Winter Park. We're gonna stop by Mr. Rogers' house and we're gonna kind of show you some of the different segments of Winter Park, why some may be more desirable over others, and just how gorgeous these streets are and the type of lifestyle that you can live here in Winter Park. So
By the way.
these houses here on the right, not only are they lakefront, but they're some of the largest lots
Yeah.
in all of Winter Park, right? Look at how deep the lots are and how far they go back. So something that people should know when looking for real estate in Winter Park. First of all, there are no gated communities like you would find in areas like Windermere or Lake Nona or other parts of Central Florida. So you may have an individual estate that's gated, but there's no gated communities. And truly the only community that is even considered an HOA is Windsong, right?
Yeah, it's the only real true like subdivision in the legal sense in all of Winter Park.
But don't worry if you're somebody that thinks, oh, well, I need to be in a gated community for security and safety, because tell them a little bit about fun statistic to know about Winter Park.
Yeah, and I wish I knew it specifically, but what I can tell you, because the chief of police is in the Rotary Club, so we get to
You
get
get a
him
little
for
bit
all
of the
the
insider
fun facts.
info.
It does have one of the fastest police response times, like literally in not just Florida, but in the Southeast United States. So,
Okay, Mr. Rogers' house. I could
There it
totally
is.
see him standing here with a sweater.
yeah.
I can absolutely see him standing here with a sweater.
And like
Wow.
next time you do the boat tour, they point it out from the water side
Uh-huh.
as well. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Super cool. Wow, look how large this estate is.
It's a really beautiful.
Mr. Rogers did good for himself.
Mr. Rogers was not going too shabby. Yeah, it is nice. So there you can see the lake right behind.
Okay, so super cool. We're literally going over one of the bridges for the canals, where I mentioned the Venetian canals and how they were dug out to be able to go from lake to lake. And again, the Scenic boat tour does take people through there. Or if you're a local and you live on the water, you can take your boat through, but it's super narrow. You have to understand the waters. You have to understand the depths so you don't get stuck and cause you and everybody else quite a bit of a headache.
Yeah, definitely no wakeboard boats going through with the towers up.
No. And look how cool on the left here. Like, these are all boathouses that are connected to the residents here on the other side of the street. But again, when you see these, how narrow and tight these canals are to take you from one to the other, you really have to know what you're doing to navigate them. Okay, so we're arriving now at one of the best parks in Winter Park, very well known, Azalea Park,
Yep, Craft Azalea Gardens.
Craft Azalea Gardens.
Yep. So on the left, so it's funny, Lake Maitland is the only lake that's large enough for like a full 8-man scull to row. So Rollins crew team, that's where their crew boathouse is. So where like all their other water sports stuff is over on the lake they're on. The crew team practices on Lake Maitland because it's large enough for a full team to row.
So nice.
Yes.
Such a beautiful park. They're known for these gorgeous cypress trees, right? They're all protected.
Yep.
People get married here, people do photo shoots here. I mean, but there are so many benches where you can just sit out and look at this gorgeous lakefront,
Yep.
beautiful homes in front of you.
Watch your head
Nature.
during bird nesting season, for sure.
Fun local fact,
yeah,
watch
yeah.
your head during bird nesting season because you might get a little poo-poo on your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a gorgeous park, public park, a place where you can go and sit out and enjoy the beauty that this neighborhood has to offer. But let's talk about the real estate here. I mean, having these properties with the boathouses across the street, and they're elevated, you have these gorgeous views. I mean, these are some of the most sought after pieces of real estate in all of Winter Park.
So this is actually a really cool property. So this is the Alabama. This was actually originally a hotel. I don't have the specific date, but it was in the early 1900s, like seriously, like 1915, 1920, like around then. And then it got converted into condos. So now you've got this like kind of crazy, just like old historic condo building in the middle of like the prime of Winter Park. And, you know, it used to be a hotel. All right, so now we're cutting onto the villas.
The villas are some of the most desirable streets in all of Winter Park. Brick-lined streets, some of the most expensive real estate you're gonna find in Winter Park. And people do everything that they can to fight for real estate here.
Very true.
And you really find gorgeous estates, all different sorts of architecture. On one side of the villas, you do have the lakefront properties.
So you have Via Tuscany, which basically runs all the way down the lake. And then on either side, branching off, you have more villas that run in either direction.
Oh, look how gorgeous that home is. So now we're driving around old Winter Park. So you have a lot more of those historic homes. I love that home right there too, so pretty. But then you also see a lot of newer construction homes. You can tell that they may have purchased a home, knocked it down, and rebuilt. But what's so cool is these neighborhoods still have the history of the landscaping and the trees. You get those tall, big oaks, where in other parts of town where you see a lot of newer construction, you don't have that beautiful aesthetic.
No, you don't. You don't have these 100-year-old trees. All right, Winter Park Racket Club, here we go.
Okay, so let's talk tennis. If you're somebody that loves tennis
pickleball.
and pickleball, the place to play and hang out is gonna be the Winter Park Racket Club. So one of the cool things about this Racket Club, which, well, first of all, you do have to be a member here to enjoy the facility.
That's right.
But it's also located right on the lake. There's this awesome pool right off the lake. You can grab a paddleboard, grab lunch. It's just such a cool place to be a member at and really enjoy, you know, the lifestyle here.
And again, as a member, because there is no public access to the chain of lakes, so if you are a member, you can use their boat ramp. So that alone
Fun
could
fact,
be worth the membership.
if you don't live on the chain of lakes, but you want access to it, being a member here would give you that ability.
And they are about to undergo a huge renovation.
Which means probably increased membership fees.
That's right.
But it's worth it.
Get in before you turn 40. There's deals for young professional
benefits.
members. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And tennis is a huge part of the lifestyle here in Winter Park. I mean, almost every woman I know is a part of some tennis or pickleball group.
Yep. Pickleball has taken the world by storm.
It really has.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've left the villas, which are named the villas because...
Every street starts with Via.
Exactly. So we're leaving the villas and we're going into the tree streets. And the locals call it the tree streets because...
Pretty much the simplest reason ever. Every street is named after a tree.
Yes.
So you've got elm, spruce, walnut, pine. So every tree is every street
look
is
how
a tree
beautiful
name.
this lifestyle is, like with these lakes throughout the community. I mean, just so beautiful.
There's like a whole little committee here. It's just the neighbors, but every Christmas they literally float a Christmas tree out to the middle of that lake and run power out to it. So throughout the entire Christmas season, we have like a gigantic, fully illuminated Christmas tree in the middle of that lake.
Very festive, I love it.
Which is super fun.
So obviously we're seeing a lot of luxury real estate here in Winter Park, but you know, the median price point here is about $850,000. There are plenty of pieces of real estate you can pick up for under $1 million, whether you're looking for a condo or a townhome, or in different parts of Winter Park, you might find, you know, a smaller single family home.
There is a large part of Winter Park too, which, you know, it is Winter Park, but it's 32792.
Uh-huh.
So it's Seminole County Winter Park. So you actually don't have the municipal City of Winter Park taxes. You don't even have the Orange County taxes. So, I mean, it's a Winter Park address, but it can be much more affordable from a price point
And still
standpoint.
super accessible to all the wonderful things Winter Park has to offer.
Totally.
Prices here in Winter Park are 32% higher than the Orlando metro average. So you're definitely gonna pay a higher premium to live in Winter Park.
But don't forget, they've been that much higher for a long time, and
Yes.
they're gonna stay that way. So you're making an investment, right? You're investing in a piece of real estate that's gonna continue to appreciate, continue to hold its value. There'll never be another Winter Park.
Yeah, and talking about appreciation, homes here appreciate between 1.5% to 2% a year, which is higher than the Central Florida average.
There you go.
And another fun fact is taxes here in Winter Park are 27% lower than Miami.
So, it's funny you bring up taxes. I'll tell you this because, I sit through a lot of the city commission meetings, again, board of the Rotary Club. So the mayor is always in, Randy Knight, the city manager, is always in, Michelle DeValle, deputy city manager. So the city of Winter Park, despite the fact that taxes are higher because you are paying municipal taxes, they really, really go out of their way and try very hard to never raise the millage rate on the citizens. So they do everything they can to try and find tax revenues from places other than going to the homeowners. All right, so now we're gonna go over this little bridge here into the Isle of Sicily. So believe it or not, this is a man-made island. You're gonna have to go back and look up what year it got created, but it's really cool because it jets out. So when you have a house on the Isle of Sicily, which is without a doubt the highest priced real estate
In all of Winter Park.
Yeah, you've got a lake.
You have lake on both sides, right?
Correct.
It's literally an aisle. So
Yeah.
lakes, water is surrounding all of the property here.
Gosh, doesn't it just smell great and look beautiful?
So gorgeous here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about schools. Some of the best schools in all of the greater Central Florida area
Yep,
are
lots
here in
of
Winter
A-rated
Park.
schools. You can start in elementary school, go all the way up through high school.
There's some great private schools. People drive from all over. I mean, an hour away, some people will drive just to get to Lake Highland for their kids.
Yeah, so Lake Highland's a private school, but yep, totally accessible from Winter Park. It's great. You've got St. Margaret Mary right there on Park Avenue, which is a wonderful private school as well. But if you don't want to go for private, I mean, that's another one of the things where like your tax dollars are going here. You've got Lake Highland, you've got Park Maitland, you've got St. Margaret Mary, but there's also wonderful public schools. I mean, all the way elementary, middle, high school.
Highly rated.
You've got A-rated schools that your children can attend here in Winter Park. So, it's a great spot for families. That's what drew us, quite frankly.
So something else is important to some people is having sidewalks in communities. This is not a sidewalk community. So it's not really an area that you can walk on a sidewalk with your kids or with strollers and things like that. Although you can walk the streets, you can run the streets, but if that's something important for you, this part of Winter Park doesn't have sidewalks. That's why as local experts, we're able to advise people, even though it's one of the most desirable places in all of Central Florida to live, it still may not be right for everyone. But it sure is gorgeous. With 49 parks across 300 plus acres, Winter Park lives up to its name. So we visited Craft Azalea Garden, but there's some other notable parks you should check out. Mead Botanical Garden, which has 48 acres with a boardwalk, as well as Phelps Park, which is known by the locals and definitely frequented. So that was so much fun. Thank you so much for that amazing tour, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you everyone for coming along with us today. The next step though, if you loved what you saw here, if you want to learn more about Winter Park, come down to Florida, come to Winter Park, give us a chance to show you around in person.
Absolutely, and don't forget to subscribe for all things lifestyle and real estate here in Central Florida. See you in the next video.